All right, welcome back.
We are back.
Y'all, it's Deadpool time. Come on
So,
now.
if y'all didn't see Deadpool 3, please make sure to go see that ASAP. Stop what you're doing.
First of all, if you haven't seen Deadpool 3, what are you doing? Like, what are you really doing?
For
You
real.
need to have seen it by now. I've seen it several times by now. But anywho, let's get started. I'm so excited.
Okay.
First of all,
I don't know where to start.
we're going to start from the beginning.
Okay.
Okay.
What's up?
All right. So first, the intro with him digging up Wolverine
body.
Okay. And then the big fight scene with Wolverine's bones, right?
Yeah, he used every single bone.
Did
too.
you? Yeah. And the intro, the music, everything. I knew it was gonna be great.
He was hitting those. Was it NSYNC? Was it
NSYNC.
Yeah, he was hitting those dances though. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, NSYNC been real quiet since this dropped.
Yeah, he was hitting them.
Yeah. No, actually, one of the members of NSYNC, he was talking about it, and he said they told them they were going to use the song for the movie, and they said it was going to be a big part of the movie. So when they went to go see it, they didn't know it was going to be the very beginning. They thought it was going to be in the middle. But anyway, so then he talks about flashing back and how he got to that point. So then he flashes back to meet Happy when he wants to be an Avenger. And he was all serious and sincere.
He was so serious.
Yeah, and so and Happy was like the first cameo, right?
He was
the first cameo, and then Happy turns him down. He did him dead wrong, but why was he? Look, he was going in on Happy on the slide when he was like, "You're an Avenger," and he was.
He said, "What you good at? Parallel parking?" Yeah, this is
Anyway, so then Happy told him, basically you can't be, this isn't working.
It's not going to work for everybody, yeah.
So then he decides to just be a car salesman. Oh.
Yep.
And so after that, he had his birthday party. He was in the locker room speaking with Peter.
Peter, yep.
Because Peter wanted him to still fight crime. And he was like kind of done with fighting.
I don't want to do it no more, yep.
Yep. So he got him to the house. And so when he was getting to his apartment and he looked across the street and saw the construction workers.
Yeah.
And were they the TVA or maybe he just felt like somebody was watching him?
I want to say he was just paranoid.
Okay, yeah, because remember they said they had been watching him. Yeah. So then he goes into the apartment and it's a surprise birthday party.
It was a nice little gathering too.
For Wade. And his ex-girlfriend was there. I didn't remember. I mean, I'm not that familiar. I mean, I've seen all the Deadpool movies, but I didn't refresh my memory. So they broke up. She broke up with him.
Last time I checked, and I may be wrong. I thought she died.
She did, but I think when he went back in time with Cable's little thingy, it brought him back. Okay. Brought her back. But yeah, I should have watched the last one, but I didn't. So what?
No, I was thinking because there was another person that came back too that died.
In the that was in the apartment?
Yeah. It was Shatterstar.
Oh, okay, yeah. So they had his little birthday party and it was a knock at the door and it was the TVA. Ryan Reynolds was really funny on that part when he thought they were strippers.
Yeah.
That was funny. And so they take him. I like when he was like, that one man was like, he said, "I don't like you." He was like, "Good. We're going to keep that same energy and we're going to do it angry."
He didn't say that.
But anyway,
they took his wig off too.
With the staples on
it. The staples.
So they took his wig off. That was messed up. Yeah. And then he woke up in the TVA. Oh, when he woke up and the man said, he's like, "Mr. Wilson, you seem to have soiled yourself while you were unconscious." He said, "I wasn't unconscious." Like Ryan Reynolds, I really like his humor. I like his sense of humor, like this, and especially somebody who's funny. And if you don't listen, you won't catch it.
Yeah, he said it so quick. I wasn't unconscious.
That cracks me up. So then they went to go. So he took him to explain to him what he needed and what he was going to do, or what he needed him to do, and talking about how their universe was going to end because Wolverine had died. He was the anchor. But of course, in true Deadpool fashion, he thought he was the anchor.
Yeah.
He was so mad that it was Wolverine. He was like
Because
the
at
guy
the time, he really needed a purpose.
Okay, so then he steals the little, what did he call it, an Amazon phone? He called it something.
I don't remember
but
what he
it's the
called it.
time travel thing because once he realized that oh no, we got to go back to when we missed something. Remember when he first walked into the TVA room with all the monitors?
Yeah.
And he saw all the different monitors, and it was one of Thor crying, and he was holding them.
Yeah.
He would not let that go. He wanted to know why Thor was crying.
He was bringing it up throughout the whole movie almost.
He felt so special. But anyway, so then after Paradox was his name, Paradox?
Yeah.
He told him, he wanted him to save, he was going to destroy his world. And so he stole the little time travel thing and took off.
Yep.
After he got suited up, though. After he got suited up in the new Deadpool suit, that was nice.
Yeah.
He
had one of them. He took off.
Yep, and then he went. So then it took us back to the fight at some point. The fight, and one thing that stuck out to me was when he was fighting that one dude, and the dude was like, "Wolverine was like the best thing, or you're the worst thing that came out of Canada, or something about coming out of Canada." And so he Ryan Reynolds went up to him and said, or Deadpool, and he was like, "Keep my country's name out of your fucking mouth."
Yeah, straight Will Smith though.
The one-liners were out of control,
and they was quick too, so you really had to catch them.
Man, they hate to be Chris Rock.
Yeah, like you just imagine like, oh, Deadpool out, and you just watching it, and then you have to relive that.
You can't enjoy Deadpool. So anyhow, after that, now this is where I need you to help me out with something because they showed all. Like when Ryan Reynolds when Deadpool went to go find him another Logan.
Yeah.
Okay. So there was a little Logan, right? That was the first one. Is that a real Logan?
That's supposed to be his actual size in the comic book.
Okay.
And in the cartoon, he's supposed to be really that small.
Okay. Really?
Mm-hmm. Wolverine is little. He's a little dude.
Okay. That's why he's always so angry.
Mm-hmm.
And then the one I was on TikTok, and this one guy was like, he said he knew all the variants of the Wolverines, but he was so confused as to the one that was on that X.
So the one that was on the X, I did my homework on it. Wolverine was in hell, and he was stuck on that X. And then I guess he winds up getting possessed, and then Ghost Rider comes out of nowhere, and then like drags him to Earth and throw him in a church to try to like bring him back.
Okay.
I didn't know that. I had to do my homework on that.
Okay,
though.
I wondered.
But I saw that image a lot though before the movie though.
Did you know all the rest of them though? Did you know all the rest of the Wolverines? What was the other one they had? The one. Okay. Well, first of all, let's shout out to the next cameo that they had.
Yeah.
Was Superman. Henry Cavill.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. Did you catch it as soon as he turned around, or did you not?
I didn't catch it.
You didn't?
I didn't catch it. Yeah.
So that one. That was a good one. I caught it. At first, I'm like, he looks a little different. I'm like, oh, that's Superman. That was a really good cameo. There were so many good cameos.
It was.
And I think, I'm saying that's the second cameo, but I'm not sure if it was. It was, Thor was the second cameo. Right. Thor crying.
Hey, they didn't catch the other Wolverine with the missing hand. He only had one hand.
Did they show it on here?
They showed it.
Where was he?
He is when Deadpool was looking for a Logan. He went into time, and it was like he was in an alley, and there was one Wolverine. He had like a missing arm.
Wait, the one they showed looked like a punk rock Wolverine? Like
he had a lot of hair. Yeah, him. Yeah.
Oh, he had one hand?
So that's the Wolverine. Yeah, he had one hand.
Uh-huh.
So that's the Wolverine when he had he sided with Magneto.
Oh.
Cyclops blew that hand clean off.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't know. So did we cover all the Wolverines? I can't think if we did or not.
He had a casino one too. I don't know about that.
Okay, the one with the patch.
I don't
you know anything about him?
I've seen a lot of photos of that one.
Okay, we'll have to do some research on that one. But let's see. Okay, so then after that, he gets the Wolverine that was at the bar. He brings him back. I didn't know what he was talking about when he was about to pick him up to take him back, and he was like, "Oh, those are some interesting jammies." Talking about his suit. Yeah. Because I forgot Wolverine never really wore a suit in any of the movies except one X-Men movie. He wore a suit. He didn't want to. It was a black one, I think.
That first one.
Yeah, he didn't want to, but I didn't know he didn't wear. They were so against putting him in the actual X-Men suit, but I think when they were bringing the comics to life. They wanted them to be more like real people. That's why instead of Wolverine having his hat, he had his hair looking like that.
There's probably no better way they could have did that back in the day, too.
Yeah, I think it all worked out well the way it did, like, for this movie. But yeah, so when he brought him back, and he dragged him and just dropped him. And so then the guy was telling him, no, this is not how it works. You can't just bring any old Wolverine. And then he was like, oh, that's what I wanted to ask you. He said he was the worst Wolverine. Why was he the worst Wolverine? Like, well, because they kept saying he was, in his world, everybody, he was killing and everybody died because of him or whatever. Were you familiar with that?
I feel like I'm going to get a story mixed up.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to try anyway.
Okay.
There's a Wolverine who got tricked. And I don't think they was, like, bringing that into the movie, though, but Wolverine got tricked in killing the whole X-Men. He got tricked by, what's that dude with the dome that was on Spider-Man? Mysterio.
Mysterio?
Mysterio tricked him.
Uh-huh.
And he killed everybody in the mansion. And he just felt bad. But that was like the old man Logan story. So.
I see what you're saying. So now you're saying maybe.
But he was saying in the movie was he just wasn't there for the X-Men. They died and they needed him.
Oh. Well, remember, there's a scene when he was talking, we'll get to that. Okay, so I was just wondering about the Wolverine. So anyway, Paradox sends them to the Void. And this is when it starts getting really good. So when they get to the Void and they're arguing and fighting, that was a good fight scene. Man, that was, even when Wolverine, when they did the flip and Wolverine ended up on top of Deadpool and he shot him in his
side. Yeah, that was crazy.
Wait, that was a good scene. And then, then after that fight, because there were several, after that fight, when when they were on opposite end, when he threw him through that sign, and then he hit the 20th Century Fox.
Yeah, that was cool.
That whole situation is confusing to me, but I did I looked it up, and I'm still a little confused. Yeah. But I know that Sony owned. It was Sony, Fox, and then Disney, and all that. Yeah, so, but I still got it. I still got the reference, seeing the 20th Century Fox there. It didn't confuse me that it was there. I knew it was because, you know what I mean?
Then I like when before they started fighting, Deadpool was like shooting at him. In the middle of the fight, Deadpool was shooting at him, and they just see Wolverine zigzagging that quick.
Yeah, that was cool. Just before they fought, because he knew, he was like, this is going to be good. And it was. He was not lying. I waited
so long.
He was not lying. And so when you talking about when Wolverine was on all fours, that was crazy. He was moving. That was, oh my God, it was just so good. So then after they finished fighting, the next surprise cameo. So the Chris Evans. Mm-hmm. Now, I didn't even recognize his voice, but it was so much going on. They probably counted on us not to recognize when he was like, they're coming. Yeah. But Deadpool said some things, those quick things that he says that probably gave some hints, because he said something about he's some kind of savior and he's he made some about language, like not using foul language. We should have known it was him, right? Yeah. So then when Chris Evans jumps down and he was like, that's a superhero landing. Yeah. I still didn't know who it was. And then when he took his thing off, of course, everybody knew it was. And they fooled us because
we thought it was Cap.
His little sleeves had red, white, and blue on them. Yeah. So then but here's another hint that Deadpool gave us we should have known. When Pyro and all them showed up, and Chris Evans was talking to them, and he said, "You're not something, dickhead." And Deadpool looked at him sideways because Captain America doesn't cuss. Yeah. So he kind of tilted his head but he let it go. Yeah. And then when he was like, he's gonna say it. He thought he was gonna say Avengers symbol. And when he said "Flame on," I was done.
I was like, dang.
I couldn't believe it.
We missed the cameo too.
Which one?
When Deadpool was looking for Logan, he went into the this one timeline and was Wolverine. He was like, "You wore that outfit when you fought the Hulk, and the Hulk was right behind you."
Oh my God, that's right. I forgot we missed that one. Yeah. Now, what do you remember? So, but you remember that because I remember you telling me Wolverine and the Hulk fought.
Yeah, they fight a lot.
Yeah, that's right. We did miss that one. Okay, good catch. Good catch. So Johnny Storm and Pyro. That scene.
Now I'm gonna be real with you. See, I knew that was Pyro off rip, so I knew he was done for, like in the sky.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh well, I knew it was Pyro, but I didn't think he was that powerful that he could take his.
Cold.
Really, I didn't know that. I was like, and then when he fell, Wolverine was like, "We don't know that guy."
Hey, I ain't gonna lie. I thought he died.
I did too. I thought he died too. I did too, but he showed back up. Mm-hmm. And so then they were riding to Cassandra's place. And what about that Ant-Man cameo?
That was cool.
Dang, his skull and everything. Mm-hmm. I want to know what happened there. But we don't need to really know because Cassandra's powers were crazy.
She probably did it to him.
That's what I'm thinking. Mm-hmm. She would have terrified me. So when they got there, and they get in there and she comes down, I actually thought it was Professor X. And let me tell you, did you think it was Professor X?
I did for a second. I did.
But when I saw it, I was like,
she was in that chair. Once she.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I was like, oh, don't let this be Professor X, because I remember you saying you tired of them killing Professor X in these movies.
I'm so sick of it.
So I was like, so we didn't see the movie together, by the way. Mm. So when I was watching, I saw it first. So when I was watching, I was like, oh, please don't let this be, because Travis is gonna be so disappointed. Man. Because they keep killing him. So then she comes down, and I'm thinking at the time, I'm like, who is this? But you said that Charles Xavier did have a twin.
Yeah.
Okay, he had, because I was wondering about that.
I forgot all about that though.
I thought maybe, I'm like, did he really have a twin, or did they do it for this movie? But I thought because of the way the cameos are, I had a feeling that he really did have a twin. But yeah, that.
You know, the Juggernaut's supposed to be like his half brother too.
Whose?
Charles.
Oh, for real? That's interesting. Mm-hmm. So then he would be related to her, but she didn't care with her crazy self. It's
like half brother. It's weird. It's pretty weird, but
that's the MCU for you. So then, what else? Oh, okay. So then, what was the next? What happened next? Oh, Johnny. Man, Deadpool is dirty. He did not have to tell her all that stuff Johnny said.
The whole time I was like, what is his angle? Like, why does he go so hard like that?
Right. Was he jealous of Johnny? Like, what was the problem? And I didn't expect him to die that soon, but I didn't think he'd be I guess I didn't think he'd have a huge role in the movie. But then when he died and Wolverine was like, he was like, you got him killed. He was like, oh, we're all mourning, and something about him being in the budget.
Yeah.
That was a lot of money.
I can't catch that firefly for a long time.
Man. And that's why you can't just make friends with everybody.
You can't.
Being friends with them is what happened. It's how that happened.
Torch, he was better off just minding his business.
Yeah, he was. I don't even know why he even showed up trying to help them. And I bet he doesn't know him either. So anyway, big fight ensues and they escape. They escape her. And then they end up they're driving. And is this no? Wait, they're not driving. They escape, and then they end up
finding a nice pool.
I want to go back. They do find a nice pool, but I want to go back to when they got to the void, and Wolverine was like, "Where are we?" He was like, "I don't know. It looks a little Mad Maxy."
Yeah.
But that would be IP infringement. Another one-liner. I love the one-liners. But anyway, so they ended up going to. They're walking, and that's when they meet Nice Pool and that dog. With that when Deadpool was holding that dog, him licking his face, that went on for way too long. Licking his mouth, that went on for way too long. But anyway, Nice Pool shows up and gives them his van. But remember, he was eyeballing Nice Pool's guns.
Yeah, he was.
And he was also he was so jealous of Nice Pool. His
like
face,
him at all. Yeah.
His dog. So then they get. How many people you think are going to buy Honda Odysseys because of this? Because that was the car.
They was promoting the mess.
They were.
Van,
And he was like, van. And he was like, so they get in the van. He didn't want to give him his dog back. And Nice Fool gonna look at Wolverine to get him his dog back, and he got it back. So when they were driving, and this is another scene I like. When they were driving, and Deadpool was telling Wolverine, he said, if they can fix your world, blah, 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 blah.
He said, say that again.
And Wolverine stopped. Now, Wolverine, I love how angry he was. He was so angry.
Yeah, he was.
But the way he read Deadpool and hurt his feelings, Remember, he
just stared at him
and
for
he
a long
said,
time.
and the biggest joke in the universe, he said something about him dying. He said, that's the biggest joke because you can't die.
Yeah.
And he was just so angry. And Deadpool was looking at him like, damn. But then he was like, I'm going to fight you now.
I'm going to fight you now.
And so here comes another fight scene. Dang, they fought a lot. So this was the next fight scene when they
fought inside of the van.
In the Honda Odyssey.
See, here's the thing, though. I knew Deadpool was going to get down. Because remember that fight scene from the first movie when he jumps off the bypass and he lands to the sunroof?
Yeah.
Yeah, so, I knew he was going to get down in that little small space.
You know, Deadpool is, a joker, and he always, he seemed like a fuck up or whatever, but he is cold.
Yeah,
he is cold. So then they fight to the point where they knock each other out, and then they drive off. Come on now. We know what's next.
Come on.
We know what's next. So then they show up. They wake up. Oh, did you catch this though? When they were in that lair?
Yeah.
Because somebody, they get driven off while they're passed out. And Deadpool wakes up first, and he goes, Thor! He woke up, he said, Thor! And then he woke Logan up. I wondered if you caught that. I was going to ask you that. So then
oh, God.
Logan's drinking the alcohol and whatever. Mm-hmm. And then Elektra comes out to fight Deadpool. We're like, Elektra, oh, cool. Cool. And then the next cameo.
Let's go.
I mean,
my man Blade hit the corner.
When I saw that, I said Travis is going to lose.
I almost when I saw Blade hit the corner, I was reclining in my seat. I almost fell out my seat.
Man, I knew. I said Travis is gonna lose his shit because I know how much you like Blade. Mm-hmm. I was like, no.
That was cool. I didn't see that coming at all.
I didn't either.
To be honest with you, I thought they were spoiling the movie. Because they showed so much already.
I purposely didn't watch the trailers because I thought that. But I remember you saying you thought that you probably got it spoiled. And when I saw the movie, I was like, you didn't get it spoiled.
I was like, why would they show Sabretooth like that?
Yes, because he was the least of the...
Which,
speaking of all, we skipped over that, but Sabretooth didn't last long.
He didn't last long at all.
Dang.
He didn't last... Wolverine went straight
They made a long story short on that one.
They did. But we saw... Daywalker hit the corner.
Man, I'm not even a Wesley Snipes fan, and I was happy to see him.
I was like, no, they didn't.
Ain't that crazy?
No, they didn't.
And then, okay, so when you still want to talk about Wesley Snipes, about Blade?
No, I'm done. I'm
okay.
Yeah.
So when Gambit hits the corner, now I'm gonna be the first one to say I remember Gambit from X-Men Origins.
Yeah.
I remember him, or was it the Wolverine? Which one was that?
Wolverine Origins.
Yeah, Wolverine Origins. I remember Gambit. And in my mind, I was so confused because I'm like, what's the big deal? Because Gambit's not that popular, right? To me, as far as in the movie universe or whatever. So I did some research and Channing Tatum, much like Ryan Reynolds, had been trying to get a Gambit movie made.
Yeah, I remember hearing about that.
Okay, so in the first in the X-Men Origins movie, he was supposed to be in that Gambit, but they wrote it out. And then in Wolverine Origins, with that Gambit, that was supposed to be Channing Tatum, but he was doing G.I. Joe, so he couldn't do it.
I'm not gonna lie to you. What? I know his contracts got to be signed and everything, but man, I would love G.I. Joe. I wouldn't be able to focus to do G.I. Joe.
And G.I. Joe, I don't even think it did well. Yeah, it was okay.
If I was in a movie and they were like, okay, I'm doing this movie, but they'd be like, hey, we want you to be in a Marvel movie. I'm not gonna be able to play my role in G.I. Joe no more. I ain't gonna be able to think.
You'd probably never work again.
Yeah, I wouldn't be able to think
That's crazy though, isn't it? I thought that too. I'm like, dang, I know he hated that. So that's where all that came from. So much like people who didn't get every little nuance of this movie, that's probably how they feel, because I still understood that it was a moment. Well, not really, because not with Gambit. I really didn't get it. I didn't get why it was he was in it, but now I do. I don't know how many people did, but now I do get it. But supposedly he's supposed to have either a movie or a series or something. Gambit is. So I went, and then his accent, his accent was so heavy. And I went to the Wolverine cartoon, you'll appreciate this, to see how Gambit really sounded. Because somebody said the accent was true to Gambit, but it wasn't to me.
It was a little heavy.
The movie accent, yeah. Because I was like, he didn't really sound like that on the cartoon I was looking at. I didn't watch the whole thing, but I just wanted to see. And then when the other one-liners, when Deadpool was like, he was like, "Who's your dialect coach?" And then he was like, "I feel like we're missing critical information."
And he said, he said something like, "Who's writing the lines? The minions or something?"
Oh yeah, he said, "Who's your dialect coach?" Yeah. The minions. Yeah, that was funny. So then, let's see. After that, they decide they're talking, and one thing I did catch with Gambit was when they were talking about being tired of hiding from Cassandra and stuff like that, and it was like our worlds forgot about us because they were all there because of TVA. Their worlds forgot about them, and then Gambit said, and I didn't catch this till like maybe the second or third time I watched the movie. Gambit said, or never got a chance to know about us or something like that. Because I'm like, okay, yeah, because nobody really knew Gambit's story, not really. So that was, they slid that in there, and I caught it later. I was like, oh, okay, because they were aware that people probably weren't going to know
who he was,
or they knew who he was, but know why that was such a pivotal moment for him to come walking out with the rest of them. So then, when they were talking about going, and they were like, yeah, what's her face came out, X-23.
Yeah,
she came out, and that was, but I think they said that. Did they show her in the trailer? I don't remember. I didn't see the trailers.
I heard they did. I stopped watching a few trailers.
Yeah, somebody said they showed her.
Was upset.
And that was a moment too, but it did not beat Blade though for me, that her walking out. But that was still a moment. So then when they were talking about, let's get together, and Deadpool was happy that they were going to be a crew.
Yeah.
And so everybody's like, yeah, let's do this. And then Wolverine said, you're all going to die. He said, would you read the room?
Yeah, he didn't say that.
Wolverine, I love how angry he was.
Say that.
And annoyed. I loved how angry and annoyed Wolverine was. I really did. But, so anyway, the next scene, Wolverine has a nice little talk with, oh wait, no, we got to go back to, they were trying to figure out how to kill Cassandra.
Yeah.
And, They mentioned Juggernaut's helmet. No, they mentioned Magneto, his helmet. But Deadpool mentioned the helmet. And Blade said she melted it. He was like, fuck. And he's like, after she killed him, fuck.
Hey, he probably had hope if Magneto was still there, though.
So then they decide they're going to get Juggernaut's helmet or whatever. So then he has this moment later on. It's just him and X-23. It's a moment. And then the next thing they show is... they do show Pyro talking to Paradox, and that let us know that they were in cahoots. But they end up going to Cassandra's place. By the way, the music in this movie was top tier.
It was.
The music, T.I., Bring 'Em Out, when they were getting to even in the remix of it, because they did a superhero remix to it. And so when they pulled up and that whole Ant-Man body or whatever.
Corpse. And
oh wait, another thing. When they were in the car on their way to Cassandra's, when Blade stood up with the rocket launcher that was the Punisher's.
Yeah, the Punisher rocket launcher. Yeah.
And he said, "There's only one Blade. There will ever only be one Blade. Mm-hmm. There's only been one Blade." And Ryan Reynolds looks in the camera. Now, a couple of people interpret that. It's two different ways you can interpret that. Mm-hmm. I took it as, yeah, he looked in the camera because, well, there's going to be another Blade because there's another Blade movie with Mahershala Ali playing Blade. Somebody else said he probably looked in the camera like that because they keep postponing a Blade movie. Like, it's not going to happen.
Now, do you remember the series of Blade?
No.
Yeah. There
was a series?
Yeah, of a rapper named Sticky Fingers was playing them.
Oh. Wait a minute. I do remember that. Mm-hmm. Did you watch it?
A little bit of it.
Oh,
I don't think it went too far, though. But I liked it, though. I thought it was decent.
Okay. Yeah, I forgot about that. You're right. You're right. One more thing I wanted to go back to when they were in the lair with all the cameos with Blade and all them. They were talking about everybody who had died. Yeah. And they said, they said not the Daredevil, and then he said, "Oh, I'm sorry about Daredevil," and he looked at Elektra, and she was like, "It's fine," because she was married to Ben Affleck.
Right.
So that was a funny moment. I was like, "Oh yeah, I forgot about that." But yeah, anyway, so going back to them getting to Cassandra's lair, and the whole fight. Oh, actually, in the lair too, or back when they were in the lair, when they mentioned Johnny, he was trying to act like he didn't have Johnny killed.
Yeah.
And Wolverine was like, "What?" And he was like, "Oh, wait." And Deadpool said, "It was just a flesh wound. He could be okay. We don't know." A flesh wound.
He was trying to make it seem like it wasn't that bad though, but like to the team.
They were like, Johnny. Okay, but anyway, so back to Cassandra and that big old fight breaks out, and there were a couple of cameos in there too.
A lot of cameos that a lot of people didn't catch.
I didn't catch either because you told me about the guy who fought the Punisher with the striped shirt.
Yeah.
I knew he looked familiar, but I couldn't place him.
You know what's crazy to do with the striped shirt? He says a lot of thing quotes from Fantastic Four. Like
for real?
Yeah, like it's carnival in time. He says that a lot.
Huh?
Which that dude who plays that Russian with the striped shirt, that's Kevin Nash.
Who is that?
Wrestler.
Oh, okay.
NWO.
Okay, well,
that's crazy. So
who else? And I saw Nightcrawler, right? Or was that Nightcrawler?
His dad is Azazel.
Okay, that was Nightcrawler.
That was Nightcrawler daddy.
Oh, that was in there. Okay.
Yeah.
That was the other one.
That was his baby.
Who was that? There was a girl. I don't know if you remember. This was a tough one. It was a girl they kept focusing on. She looked Hispanic. They kept focusing on her. They didn't keep focusing on her, but I felt like they showed her a couple times where it should have meant something. I didn't know who she was.
I remember there was a girl with a purple whip, and I remember it was a few people there. For one, we didn't speak on Toad either. Toad was there.
Oh, you always liked him.
I forgot about Toad. And then you had the lady from was it X-Men 3, I think. When they had that big wood, they was fighting in the woods.
Okay.
One of them.
You think that was okay? Maybe that was her because they kept showing, or they showed her a couple times, and I'm like, I think she means something, but I'm not sure.
And X-23 made Juggernaut look like slight work.
Oh man, did she? But remember, she was a little angry thing.
Mm-hmm. And she still had those little glasses that she got from the gas station.
Oh yeah, that's right.
She still had those glasses.
I knew those glasses meant something, but yeah. So then they end up. So after that, they get up to Cassandra's, and she starts sticking her fingers in their head and doing all that. And so what happened after that? So she stuck.
X-23 made it. She tried to jump up there, but somebody grabbed her. She threw Juggernaut.
She was bad. Like she was cold too.
Do you think Deadpool was acting like he was unconscious the whole time because he didn't want no smoke of?
Probably because he saw and let Wolverine get it.
Yeah, he caught that helmet pretty quick.
He sure did
while he was on the ground,
which was a good plan.
Yeah.
I think it was a good plan. So they get the helmet, put it on her head, and they were like. I don't know, when Wolverine was like, take it off, first she was like, I can't get you, they wanted to go home, and she's like, I can get you home if I get this on my head, and then Wolverine was like, take it off, and I was thinking, don't take it off, y'all better find another way, and he took it off, and before he took it off, and they were like, you're not going to kill us, and she said, I am going to kill you, and another one-liner for her, was Deadpool was like, why are you like that? She said, I wish I knew.
Yeah.
But then they take it off and she acted like she was gonna kill Deadpool and he's like, don't do me like Johnny.
Don't do me like Johnny.
Poor Johnny.
Did Johnny Blaze. And not Johnny Blaze, but I said Johnny Blaze.
What? And that's
I think that's a Ghost Rider. His name is Johnny.
Yeah.
But you put Blaze at the end, I think that's the Ghost Rider.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's right, it is. It's Johnny Storm.
Johnny Storm. I said Blaze.
But so then she ends up. So they let her go, and then Wolverine gives her that talk about your brother, blah blah blah, and then she pulls out Doctor Strange's ring. I'm cool. Like, oh, she killed a Doctor Strange. Dang! I mean, she leaves no crumbs. Okay, so she had the ring, which I feel like I'm just so confused as to why anybody can use Doctor Strange's ring. I don't think I'm not confused. I just don't understand. I don't think anybody should be able to use it but him. But whatever, because they always have somebody using that ring.
They put a safety on that mom.
Right. So then, she uses his ring and jumps through, and then that's when they get to, they go back to their home. Mm-hmm. And is that when Dogpool shows up, and then Nicepool shows up.
Nicepool shows up, yeah.
And or they come. Did he come through the ring? Yeah, they had to. Nicepool.
Yeah, he came through the ring. Yeah, he did.
And then they were talking, and then all the other Wolverine, or not Wolverines, all the other Deadpools show up. Mm. Why do you think it's so many Deadpools? They were like, they're a dime a dozen. That's so many.
I have no idea.
And then not, no one else. But anyway, so all the Deadpools show up, and then they got Lady Pool, which is, by now everybody knows Lady Pool is his wife, which I didn't know at the time.
I didn't know that at the time either.
And also Kid Pool was his daughter, and Baby Pool was his child. I don't know if it was a boy or girl.
Wild.
But earlier in the movie, Nicepool talks about Lady Pool, and he was like, she just had a baby. You can't even tell.
I remember that.
Yeah. But so then they all show up, and they're about to fight. Well, they're about to fight, and that's when when Deadpool uses Nicepool as a human shield. He did him so dirty.
So wrong.
I mean, and he was like, when do you regenerate? He was like, regenerate, and again.
He used him again.
Wolverine was so mad again. He was like, well, he died being a hero. And he was like, he died from murder.
Yeah.
Oh, no, he said that after they went from behind there and went to the cart, the food cart. So they get to the food cart. They try to get to the food cart, and he stops in mid-flight and just let him get lit up.
He was getting. I mean, they even shot darts at him and everything.
And he was like, "Why are we stopping?" I feel so bad.
He said, "Because I'm tired."
He said, "Use your legs." He said, "Use your legs." And what else? So he gets there, and then. And he told him, he said, "You're gonna live," and then they blew his head off. And he's still using him as a human shield. Like, man, and Deadpool don't even need a human shield. He wanted them guns and that dog.
Yeah, he was like, I love this face.
He's so dirty. And so Wolverine shows up. Oh, he goes over there, and that's when he was like, you did this on purpose. He died of murder. Mm-hmm. And so then they decide, we just gonna fight. Another scene. When they came around that corner in slow-mo, playing Madonna's Like a Prayer.
Oh, man. And Wolverine threw the mask on.
That was another point. I was like, Travis, don't lose it. When he put that mask on, man. But that taking back to Wolverine's costume, back when Deadpool first found him and brought him back, and he was talking about his pajamas. Yeah. And he's like, it only took 20 years because, they never put him in that.
They never put him in that.
Yeah, that was another little thing they dropped. But anyway, so when he put it on, and he did the stance, and they was ready to fight.
Yeah,
man.
And that's another thing. I was so angry at the movie Logan.
Yeah,
I couldn't look at Hugh Jackman the same.
You were mad about that. You were.
I was hot. We never got the chance to see him in the suit or with the mask.
I remember you. You were really. I
was upset. I was like, so this how you do me? This how you do me right here?
You actually said that.
Man, I was mad. I'm gonna be real with y'all. I only watched the movie Logan one time.
Yeah, I think I watched it twice. Because it happened to be on.
One time. And
you were so disappointed.
The best part about that movie was when he was drunk in Vegas and they were trying to steal the lug nuts off of that limousine. That was the best part of the movie.
Oh, man.
That was it. Other than that, I only watched that movie once. So I was mad. So see him throw that hood on, I was like...
Man, talk about redemption. And that wasn't even the plan. When I saw it, I was like... And I knew, I said, Travis, this is going to be better for Travis. He's going to feel better about Hugh Jackman.
I told myself before that, if I ever met Hugh Jackman, I was going to be like, man, really?
You said... I remember you saying that.
Really, for real, man? You really let them execute Wolverine like that? Because as a comic fan... You gotta understand, the Wolverine, he got his face blown off with a shotgun by the Punisher. Ran over with a steamroller. He went to hell and fought the devil. He was like an animanium like skull. Like he had no flesh on him. Fought the devil. And you tell me a log take him out?
Yeah.
Man, I was hot.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm. We good now though. Hugh Jackman just called me the other day too. He said, how you like that role? I was like, that scene. I was like, man, come on, man. What you said.
Oh, the other thing I forgot, the cowboy pool was Matthew McConaughey. I didn't know that was him.
Me either.
I didn't know that was him until somebody said something. They were like, his voice is his voice, but that movie had so much going on. So much. I was overstimulated. I did not catch his voice.
I said the Deadpool movie was like a Kendrick Lamar verse. Well, you just have to dissect.
Oh, you do.
Movie.
That's why you
cannot. It's like a Kendrick Lamar verse.
You cannot watch that just once. And I'm really excited for the movies to come for sure because of that. But anyway, so the fight scene, the big fight scene with all the. Did you know anything about Deadpool?
Nope.
Any of those? Okay, I was wondering. Yeah, and there were a few that they showed that I was curious about, like the one that was black and white and it looked kind of futuristic.
Yeah, I don't know.
And it had and also they didn't put the as you call it, the Frankenstein Deadpool from Wolverine Origins that everybody hated, even Ryan Reynolds, and I get it, but I think we mentioned this before on one of our podcasts, but I really liked that one. He was creepy, he was buff. I like that Wolverine or that Deadpool, but I mean
people could not stand it. Like
I think people couldn't stand it because
they wanted the red and black,
and they wouldn't let was it Sony, whichever one of them. I don't remember, but they wouldn't let it happen because everybody talks about how they messed up the movie. So I get it, but if you look at it now, like what we have now, they could. I feel like he probably should have been in there. I don't know if they can't let him in there because if they couldn't.
Copyright.
I really think Ryan Reynolds just really hated that one and didn't want him in there. To be honest,
he smoked him in that one Deadpool movie.
Yeah,
when you went back in time.
Yeah, he smoked him. When he had Cable's thing that took him back in time when he was messing up the timeline. That's why the TVA was after him in the first place. Well, no, they wanted him to save, but they knew he was rogue. So anyway, what else? So they had the big fight, and then when they jumped out of the bus, Wolverine, that was another moment. Like he was definitely Wolverine, except Deadpool fell and he didn't
catch himself.
And then all the other ones regenerated, of course. Peter shows up.
He was the man of the hour.
Yeah, it's Peter. That's Peter. It's like
everybody got a Peter.
Yeah, every Deadpool has a Peter, which is funny. And so, Cassandra shows up right after that, or what ends up happening with everybody? I forgot. At the end, when Peter shows up,
Pyro shows up. It was like, hey, and then,
But where did all the Deadpools go? Oh, they left with Peter, or they left after Peter showed up. They didn't want to fight anymore or something. They ended up not fighting. I think they went back. And so Cassandra shows up, and then they show the TVA and Paradox, and Cassandra gets to Paradox and finds out, tries to figure out what he was up to. And she gets in that room where she's trying to destroy all the... some of these villains just take it too far. Why you gotta destroy every universe? Because she was mad because she was in the Void. But she said she loved the Void. But she had nothing else to go off of. It's not like she lived anywhere else.
The Void was like in school suspension.
Well, not for
all the bad kids go.
Yeah, well, yeah. I wonder why they sent Deadpool to the Void or Nicepool to the Void.
He probably wasn't so nice back in the day.
Or he just didn't really have a purpose.
Yeah.
He couldn't regenerate. Like, I don't know. But anyway, so they end up having to go in and stop Cassandra from, destroying the whole universe. And Wolverine said he would do it, and Deadpool was he tricked him, but then he was like acting stupid in front of the door.
Act like he was going up some stairs, act like he was swimming.
He's like, I know, I'm nervous about dying. It's so stupid. So then he ends up going in and trying to stop it, and he couldn't reach the thing, and Wolverine comes in and helps him, and the whole time the background music is Madonna, Like a Prayer, and I wonder how much she got paid for them using that. But anyway,
she got a fat check, man,
because they used a lot of that song a couple times. So when Wolverine comes in to help Deadpool reach the other end of the time thingy, and his shirt, you can see his abs. Yeah,
and Deadpool was looking at it.
He was looking at him like, nice abs. So then of course it works. They save the universe or whatever. And the lady from the TVA, she was, what was her name? When she shows up and she tells...
she moved up in the company too, by the way.
Yeah, she did. I like her. She was in another movie that I used to watch, or another show I used to watch, Lovecraft Country. That was really good. It got canceled, but whatever. It shouldn't have. But anyway, she was in that, and her name was Ruby in it too. But anyway, so she shows up and she's getting on Paradox, and he's trying to act like he didn't do what he didn't do or whatever. So then Wolverine and Deadpool come around the corner. And it was probably slow-mo, right? You just cannot beat a slow-mo moment.
You can't.
And everybody was looking at Wolverine. He's like, put a shirt on. Remember he told me?
They gave him a TV,
a TVA shirt. Hoodie. Deadpool was just jealous. And so, she thanks him for saving the universe. And Deadpool was like, can you bring some of her friends back? That's what I'm excited about.
Yeah, to see Gambit and...
So, because I think that's going to happen because... That what's her face X-23 was at the very end when they were eating dinner, so she must have.
And that was cool too in a way because there was a scene when Deadpool was like, "I'm never gonna see you again," and Wolverine was like, "No," and he was like, "Wait." So now it's like Wolverine got a family now, especially with X-23. That's like his daughter.
Yeah. So you think Wolverine's gonna be in the other movies? By the way, after they saved the world and They were like, you want to go get some shawarma? Did you catch why they said that? When they went to go eat?
Mm-mm.
That's what the Avengers, at the end of the Avengers, when they were all after they fought and they was all tired and they were eating. They were eating this stuff called shawarma.
True. Yeah.
And after that movie, people started going to get that to eat, and it got real popular. So when Deadpool was like, the Avengers invented shawarma. No, they didn't. But that's what they were eating when they were both sitting there. And so... when they at the end when they were at the dinner table and they were like family and stuff like that, that was the end of a great epic movie. And so then, and it was also nice when they rolled the credits, they showed all the X-Men movie, like
that was
nice. And Hugh Jackman was so young when he started. Young. That was really nice, but it almost made me think we're not going to see the Wolverine anymore because the way they rolled it, like it's over. Oh,
I'm going to see what I was wearing. I need him.
You said, I'm going to see. You said, who ain't? Oh, by the way, fun fact, Travis's firstborn son is named Logan.
Oh, yeah.
So just so you know.
So, yeah, that's how deep it gets.
His only son is named Logan, actually. Yeah. But anyway, so they showed that, and then the end credit was, because they didn't show anything like there was going to be another movie. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I get it, though.
But then then they show Deadpool he tried to call himself being justified because Johnny
really
Storm
really
just said that. But that don't mean you had to repeat it.
Man, he slammed him under the bus. Whether he said it or
not, you didn't have to repeat it. That was so dirty, but classic Deadpool. So listen, y'all. I'm excited. This movie was so good, and I'm just excited for what the MCU is going to bring. Deadpool never found out why Thor was crying. Maybe we'll find out one day.
Why is Thor crying?
But listen, I'm happy. That movie was great. And what?
No, I was thinking. I just thought of a comic book. There was a comic book where Deadpool was able to pick up the hammer.
Really? Mm-hmm. Well, I know he felt special.
Yeah, he was able to pick up the hammer.
If they did another Thor movie with Deadpool in it, it would elevate Thor movies for me. Because Thor movies are probably my least favorite in the MCU. I think
he needs a little seasoning in this movie.
I mean, I like his movies, but it's not up there for me.
I didn't really care for the last one.
Yeah.
But all Deadpool, that movie was
100 out of 10.
100.
It was amazing. So listen, I hope you enjoyed the podcast. And remember, as you go about your day and you find yourself just not thinking about much, ask yourself, why was Thor crying? We out.
Outro.